Hey, this is Thursday and I am packing up because tomorrow morning I am driving towards Holland. First, I'm going to drive to one parking lot, then I'm going to be picked up by the rest of the Danes who are going to Holland. We're all going to the Dutch Nationals. And this is a video. I haven't done one of these before, but basically I'm showing you how I prep for a tournament, what I'm doing the day before. So I've printed the pack. I've also printed the lists that I've gotten a hold of. This is something that I usually do. This means that when I'm not driving the car, which I'm not doing all the time, we can sit and we can talk through the lists. How would you play against this list? What would you do? And there's also, with the pack here, the missions are in here, which means that I have already handwritten notes written down what I want to do in individual missions. So I have a plan, and then I have a plan I'll have at some point a plan for most of the lists for what I want to do against them. So those two will combine when I'm at the table, what I call turn zero, with the actual terrain. That will become my finalized battle plan. So all of this has been printed for me because it's just way easier to have it in printed format when you want to actually write notes on it. When you are at the table, you don't want to sit there looking through your phone or whatever. So this will go in a folder in a minute. I'm quite famous for these folders at international tournaments. So that's the first bit of kit that I'm packing up for the tournament here. Now, for the next bit, I'm going to have to take you to my game room. And by the way, yeah, this is my living room in my house. It's a fairly standard Danish house in many respects. One story, and this is my game room. You've seen me in here before. This is more or less it. There's a lot of like junk everywhere, miniatures, and I have my game table here, which is quite full of all kinds of junk right now. So I'm going to have to put down my computer here. Right. And here we go. This is my list for the Dutch Nationals. So I'm going to go through that and check that I have everything I need. 1000 points, yes, that's the right list. It has 2 stewards in it. So I have here my display board or movement tray, what have you. I've set out the miniatures beforehand because I used them at a training session last week. So they should all be here, but I'll just go over them one more time and check with you guys so you can actually see me doing the checkup here. Because it's when you're down there, when you're at the tournament, you don't want to have to stand there and I'm missing one medium mortar or whatever, right? So you want everything to be checked. So, right, I am going to do the checking now. If you can sort of see my right. The first thing, let me just push everything aside because I want one half to be the miniatures that are checked, one half to be all the miniatures that are yet to be determined here. What they are and where they go. Right. So, first thing in my list, checking the list, is a second lieutenant with an extra man. Here we go. That's one of them. Then I have an 8-man Gurkha section, so I will need Gurkhas with an NCO here. Gurkhas, that is 8-man. Then I have another 8-man Gurkha session. I'm sorry if this is boring, you can just skip ahead or not watch it. Why are you watching me pack up for a tournament? That's really weird. Anyway, right, that's another 8-man Gurkha section. Then I have a steward, a darker steward, with all the machine guns and stuff. That was the first platoon. Second platoon, I have another lieutenant with an extra man, SMGs on those guys. They're here. Putting him next to the first lieutenants. Then I have another Gurkha section, 8-man squad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. NCO. Gurkhas, Gurkhas, Gurkhas. There we go. Right. And then I have one more Gurkha section. Gurkhas, Gurkhas, Gurkhas. Again. Right. Good. So far, so good. Then I have the free artillery observer. He's here. I've used the same model for that for years by now. Arvin Adam, I don't need anything for that. That's just my special rule. Then I have a medium mortar with 3-man crew. This is, by the way, this is a scratch build mortar. Built for my Czechoslovakians, but it'll make do here for my Brits. And flamethrower team. Another scratch build thing here. And then 3 early war motorcycles, recently built, first tournament they're going to. Looking forward to seeing how these will do. 1, 2, 3, that is it. By the way, I've magnetized the LMGs so I can put other stuff on them, not that I can see any reason to do that right now. A Jeep, just for transport. That is going to be the flamethrower transport, I think, and another darker steward. Ding! That is it. My list is all there. Right. So that was the checkup. What else do I need? At the tournament, we're going to be given dice on the tables that we have to play with, which is something that they've copied from my tournament at Zealand Open. It was just one of those things. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but sometimes it feels like some dice sets are just more lucky than other dice sets, right? So at Zealand Open, we actually ruled that we bought a bunch of dice and just distributed on the tables, and at each table they had one box of dice, like one of these. Let me just show you one of these, like colored dice boxes here, and they got one at each table, and both players had to use them. No problems. No one was complaining about cooked dice or that any dice were more lucky or unlucky than anything else, because it was the same dice. Everyone was using them. And the Dutch copied this. They were really happy about it when they were in Denmark. So that was one of the things that they sort of felt like, that's a really good idea. We're doing that. So I don't really need to bring my own dice, but I will, just in case, right? Just in case. And I think I will bring a blue box. I might not need it, but it's always nice, just to have an extra bit of kit here. Then I need order dice, and I need measuring tape. So this, by the way, is my dice bag. My daughter made this for me. It's huge, and because I mostly play Brits, it has United Kingdom on it with a little bit of and it's a nice color for my Desert Brits as well. So I'm really happy about this bag, both the size and just the look of it. Love it. So in it, I keep a box. In this box, I have extra D6s, and I have 2 sets of colored dice. I have the silver ones, the Warlord Games event dice, and just regular desert colors. Always bring 2 sets of dice if you have them. It's just a very nice thing to do for an event organizer that you have 2 sets of dice so that you're at a table and you both like are using sand colored, right? You can bring out that extra set. Then I have a box here of little counters that I use for pins, or the black ones I typically use for hidden markers. So those, I need those, and I need a one of these. This is brilliant. This was given to me at a tournament as a present. And it has 1-inch templates. They need to touch each other, right? It has a 2-inch template. It has a 3-inch template and a 4-inch template. So really lovely little tool. Very useful. Bringing one of these. And a measuring tape. This one from Tabletopper, which is kind of nice because we're going to play at Tabletopper. It's an actual shop in Holland. So that's also kind of nifty that I'm actually doing that. I really should perhaps bring an extra measuring tape, shouldn't I? Maybe. And a turn counter. And I think I'm going to use my rather lovely 3D printed one for that. This is spent shells from I think this is from an American Carbine. And a 3D printed special holder for it, and there are 6 of them, and then the final one, once you go to turn 7, you remove the final one, and then you're clear to turn 7. And it's even painted in the same color scheme as my Desert Brits. So someone made this for me. This was a present as well. So a turn counter. Right. I think that was most of the actual gear that I need for this tournament, right? All of this is going to go down now. I'm going to pack it down in a transportation box, which I'm going to have to find, and then I'm good to go. Stuffing it all down into one bag. I'll have it all in one bag, everything ready to go into the tournament hall, so that I don't need to figure out where everything is afterwards. So I think I'm ready. I will get back to you all once the tournament is in full swing, and good luck to everyone gaming this weekend. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.